Are you feeling like the fitness advice you followed in your 20s and 30s just isn't cutting it anymore? You've got questions, and I have answers. Today's episode of the Quench Life podcast, we are going to be cutting through the noise. It's the You Asked, We Answered episode. We're diving into our emails to answer the most asked questions from our community of members over 40. So, no fluffs, no fads, just some refreshing honesty that you need to kickstart your fitness journey. I'm super excited to have you guys here today. And we're just going to go through asking some questions that I've gotten in the members here in the gym over the last few because I feel like if they're asking that question, you probably have that question too. So here we go. Question one is going to come from Susan. She says, Dear Quench Life podcast, I'm thinking about starting a fitness program, but I've failed so many times in the past that I'm not sure where to start. What is the best way to start so that I can finally be successful? Well, Susan, that is a super loaded question. But I think it's the one that unfortunately we've all experienced in our life, especially when we're talking about fitness. My advice when you're starting any type of fitness journey is I feel like we kind of make our goal way too big out the gate. We want to go from not doing any type of fitness to doing 7 days a week of fitness. And I feel like it is setting us up for failure. So, my suggestion is to take small steps with your journey. Meaning, if you're not doing anything right now, maybe you just start with 1 day or 2 days a week at the gym. Maybe it's just 1 day. Something is better than nothing. But we feel like it has to be like all in or all out for it to be successful. And that's just not right. So, that's my first step would be step number one, small steps. From there, I think it's super important to find a place that you feel safe and comfortable and confident to do your fitness thing. You need to find somebody that resonates, with how you feel about your body and your confidence level. Finding that match in a community is important because for you to want to continue your fitness journey, you're going to need to be around compatible peeps, right? So, step one, start small. Step two, find that community of people that are just like you. And step three, I feel like we kind of come out the gate as girls when we start new fitness programs hard, meaning you're like, okay, I haven't worked out in 2 or 3 years and I'm just going to jump into whatever fitness program my girlfriend who's been working out for the last couple years is doing. And what does that happen for us? Usually you're going to wake up the next morning. You'll be so sore you can't move. You're going to feel deflated from it and it's not productive. Start super duper small where we're doing half-hour training sessions where you can kind of get dusted off. And I think that that's something that you should find as well. You don't need to go crazy out the gate. Start with half-hour sessions with that person or people that you find. Let yourself get dusted off so that you can see, I know we're our worst critics, that you're not as out of shape as you think and that you can be productive and comfortable in a gym setting. So I hope that helps, Susan. Good luck on your journey to fitness. All right. So next we are going to be talking, let's see, we've got Jane. She's in Marston's Mills. Her question is, Dear Quench Life podcast, I'm already working out and struggling to see results. I currently go to the gym and do a spin class. I spend about 30 minutes lifting weights and then do more cardio. Should I be doing more? Oh no, girl. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so this is a super good question, Jane. I'm so glad that you brought this up today. So the first thing is I just want to talk about is, how much stuff should you be doing when you're going to the gym? I feel like in theory, when we think about going to the gym, you're like, okay, I have an hour and a half today. I'm going to do as many things as possible to fill up the time. And our mindset is, that more is better. And unfortunately, that's sometimes not always the best way to approach it. In my head, what I would like you to be doing is coming to the gym and giving your best effort at whatever workout setting that you're doing. So if I'm coming in and I'm going to be lifting weights, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pushing myself, lifting the heaviest weights that I can, pushing myself with my cardio finisher, so that I am out of breath and tired from that training experience. I feel like when we try to do too many things in one workout session, what ends up happening is you're not kind of draining your tank, if that makes sense. So it's like, okay, well, I'm only going to put this much effort into this because I know that I've got to get on to two other things after this. And in actuality, it's going to be more effective for you long term to do that one item that you're coming into the gym, pushing yourself super hard, leaving tired versus doing those multiple things. Our body we just don't need to be doing that. If you are going to decide that that's what you want to do, my suggestion would be is that you just go out of town, like you're just going to work out like a bat out of hell. So if I'm on that spin bike, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be riding like somebody's trying to chase me down, because that is the level of effort that we should be exerting within that training session. What tends to happen when we try to do multiple things in the gym all at once, we're not draining our tank. You're leaving enough energy in your tank to try to get the other things done. So in essence, all the other workouts that you're doing are kind of suffering from that. So my suggestion would be pick one thing per day, go hard. So, you need to, is this the heaviest weight that you could be using? Are you pushing yourself? That is where it's going to be more productive for you long term when we talk about finding your results in fitness. Good question. Okay, our next question is for Deborah and Katuit. Dear Quench Life Podcast, I recently broke my leg a couple years ago, and I've been really hesitant about getting back to the gym. What is the best way to approach this? Well, Deborah, I'm sorry to hear that you got hurt. There's nothing worse than a broken bone. Hopefully, that you got recovered and you were able to go to physical therapy to help you get back on track and to heal from that injury. My suggestion is sometimes I feel like we're like super scared that we're going to do something or to re-injure ourselves. So again, in this scenario, what my suggestion would be is that I would find a personal trainer. I think that after any type of injury, we kind of get in our head that, you hurt yourself and, you're just anything that you do is going to create more injury. So sometimes our head, that mind over matter situation. So me finding a trainer that you can work with who will be able to start really slow, make any type of modifications that you need to have for you based on that injury. Meaning, sometimes after we break something, we don't get our full range of motion back in that movement. Who knows, wherever it is, meeting you where you are, in your journey to fitness. Working with a trainer for a couple months really might give you an opportunity to get you comfortable back in the gym and really build your confidence in yourself to see that you can be comfortable and confident when you're going into a gym space. The other side of that is sometimes when we've injured ourselves, we feel like that we should not be doing anything. So, maybe you were a super active person prior to the injury, then you injure yourself and now you don't want to leave your house. It happens, right? Because I think that we just kind of lose that spark or we get nervous or we get scared, especially depending on what the details of the injury are. But the thing is, our bodies, we need to be moved. It's important that we're moving, going for walks, getting some weightlifting in. Because if we want to lead a long-term, happy, healthy life, movement is going to be so critical for it. So, I hope that you can find the courage to find somebody to work with and help get you moving again. You won't regret it. Let's see. Our next question is from Sarah in Barnstable. She says, Dear Quench Life Podcast, I'm hearing all of this information about strength training and why it's so important for women. However, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder or scary. What should I do? Well, Sarah, that is a super good question. And that is a super common theme that we hear at our gym because we do focus on weightlifting. We don't want to look like bodybuilders. And the thing is that you can't look like a bodybuilder unless that is something that you're trying to intentionally accomplish. Bodybuilding, that look of a bodybuilder, that is very specific, that they're working with their nutrition and how they're working out to get their body to look like that. For a typical woman who's going to be coming into the gym 2 to 3 times a week in weightlifting, what you'll see with the weightlifting is that you get that word toned look. We're a lot of stars that we see that you're like, oh, she looks really good. Maybe like a Jennifer Aniston. You look at her arms, it looks like she works out. Most of us are after that type of look, that type of strength training look where you look good, you look healthy and you look strong. So I pinky swear promise that, with that weightlifting, what you're going to find is that you're going to feel good and your everyday life being able to get up and down off the floor easier, get your groceries in the house easier, all sorts of good stuff. So I super encourage you to pursue that strength training so that you can see all the fun results of that. Our last question for today is from Kathy. She's from Dennis, and she's asking, does recovery mean? Why do I need it? And how should I be scheduling my week? Awesome question. Thank you for that one, Kathy. So recovery means is that it's a day that you have some downtime in your life. We get in our heads sometimes that we need to be working out all of the time for us to see results. And what we know now is that you don't have to be in the gym every single day to find success if you're doing the right things. What we need is to be working out 2 to 3 times a week, lifting weights. And then what we would do on the off days is something that we refer to as recovery. So that might be something where you're just going for a walk, or maybe you're doing a light bike ride. Maybe you're participating in some type of stretching or mobility. It's something where you're doing some active movement, but it's not as hard as what you might be doing on a typical workout day. So it's just a little scaled back. We want to have that movement in every single day, but we just don't need to be beating ourselves up every single day to have our bodies be successful, especially as we talk about long-term fitnessing and making sure that, we don't injure ourselves or anything like that. What I typically do when I look at how I'm going to schedule my week is I'm going to figure out what days I'm going to get my strength training in. Perfect, super important. And then from there, I'll figure out what my recovery days are. I like to come, we have a training here that we call recovery that focuses on specific stretching and mobility. It does not have to be, it's not wild and crazy. We're laying on mats. It's typical of some type of yoga that we participate on or foam rolling, but it's really good for our body to have that, on those off days so that we can stretch, get rid of any tension, and it gives your body an opportunity to rest so that it can rebuild and be successful for the next time that you're coming into the gym. And you can do a recovery day, that can be stacked. So if you're working out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you want to do a recovery day Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, that's a great way to go about doing it. And again, that recovery can just be something that's just a little lower paced. So maybe, again, going for a walk, maybe you want to swim. No, we don't want to do that right now. But, when summer comes back, some light stretching, anything of that type of movement where you're moving, it feels good, but it's not as exhausting as the days when you're doing your traditional workout. So that is our first episode of the You Asked, We Answered. I'm super thankful for all the questions, and hopefully we were able to answer some stuff for you today. If you have any questions that you would like answered, you can just pop us an email at hello@quenchtrainingforwomen.com, and we can be answering it for you on our next episode. Thanks again for joining the Quench Life podcast.